I take particular interest in the fact na siya yung nag-file nung ilan sa mga naipanalong Marcos-related case. Okay, he is the court-appointed administrator of the estate. But the reason why interesado ako dun sa fact na yun is because in April 2024, isa sa mga forum ng FOCAP, he was asked about, paano aandar yung mga kaso under you? And he said, to quote him, the previous cases that are post-1986, I have not touched. It would be highly improper for me to involve myself in that. That was in April 2024, and according to the records, by June and July, which is months after that forum, siya yung nag-file ng motion to dismiss. So he contradicted himself. Bukod sa pagkocontradict ng sarili niya, should the president be filing this on the behalf of the estate? Could it be Imelda na lang sana para may konting delikadeza naman? Kasi could we say that Imelda can file it just herself without BBM?
Sa kampanya pa lang, naalala ko, nang nangangampanya pa lang si Marcos Jr., tinanong siya anong mangyayari sa PCGG. It's a Presidential Commission on Good Government. Ang sagot niya, akala niya siguro yung sagot niya was neutral, was well-intentioned. He thought he was framing an answer that didn't betray his intentions. He said, we might use it to pursue ill-gotten wealth cases in general and corruption more generally. So, nakikita mo na doon na he was trying to erase the history of the PCGG as a commission created to go after him and his family. Right? But what makes it worse is that answer is also just simply intellectually dishonest. Because if you become president and you're the Marcos, that is referred to in the law creating the PCGG, it actually says there that commission was created to go after the Marcoses and their cronies. In other words, there was a legislative finding of fact in the law that said the Marcoses were corrupt. You cannot change that. Right? The only problem now would be to recover the assets they obtained from corruption. But he never said anything like, I will not be the person to appoint PCGG commissioners. I will not be a person who will determine what the Solicitor General that I appoint will do in the PCGG cases. Never said anything like that. So it's not a surprise that he himself would appear or sign or take active interest in the cases involving their family, but also because you can see the contrast here. When it is a matter of the family and the estate of Marcos Sr. paying taxes, for example, right? He pretends that, I'll refer this to our lawyers, right? But he appoints a BIR commissioner who is in charge of that. But that's different from the actual cases in which he participates, right? One example that's glaring here is in the Lucio Tan case, which was one of the cases dismissed by the Sandigan Bayan and then affirmed by the Supreme Court, I think, in 2023. I personally did not litigate this case when I was commissioner, but I knew the PCGG lawyer who was not part of the Solicitor General's office who handled this case, Catalino Generillo. Because I actually selected him when he applied as a lawyer for the PCGG. Here, Marcos Jr. wanted to testify. But of course, that's fine because he wasn't running for president. He wasn't president yet. The PCGG even then proposed to make him a hostile witness for the Republic because obviously, his family has been claiming that 60% of Lucio Tan's assets are owned by the Marcos family, right? So, fine, you can litigate that. We will hear what you have to say as a witness. You're a private person, go ahead and go to court. But once the case coincided with his presidency, then obviously, you would have to do something that you couldn't, care about before you became president. The other important thing about this Lucio Tan case is that you have a concurring and dissenting opinion that I think is important from Justice Marvic Leone. And he points out very, very specifically that these claims of delay, which is what their basis was, among others, and these claims that the evidence was photocopies You hear this very often,
Yeah.
right? Xerox copy lang, or ang tagal na yan. Ano kasi yan yung ginagamit yan to reinforce in the public mind that these cases were sloppily handled, which is not true. If there is sloppiness, it comes from solicitor generals who deliberately get sloppy. But you can compare that with Simeon Marcelo when he was Solicitor General and how we won both the Swiss Bank's case and the Coco Levy cases. So in the concurring dissenting opinion of Justice Leon, and malinaw sinasabi niya, yung mga delay, hindi yan dapat ina-attribute lang sa PCGG. Alam ko yan personally because ang mga Marcos grabe makadelay, no? Grabe makafile ng motion. Si Imelda, papalit-palit ng abogado, and every time she changes lawyers, you get a delay of almost a year. So you can imagine why it would go on and on. She's still alive, she gets new lawyers. Second, sabi ni Justice Leonen, yung mga photocopy, yung mga Xerox copies, while some of them may not be admissible because for other purposes, they're admissible for purposes of showing that the PCGG has these records, right? So you can't just ignore them. So what I'm saying here really is that this pattern of dismissing cases for delay, this pattern of saying that this is not how ill-gotten wealth is defined. This is such a sloppy, simple-minded effort to favor the Marcoses and the Dutertes. And it's really shameless. And it's even more shameless for the Supreme Court to just affirm it as if, they're issuing some kind of brilliant edict that says, oh, it's okay to steal from the government because, this government cannot prove that the president who sits there stole this money.
Just to note, yung first Solicitor General ni BBM, si Menardo Guevara, used to be the lawyer of Imelda Marcos in one of these cases that resulted in the Supreme Court charging them an estate tax na hindi pa nila nga binabayaran,
exactly.
as you noted.
Exactly, because it was their carelessness, in fact, na sila yung abogado tapos nakatanggap ng sabina, si Marcos, ang mga Marcos, and they pretended that they never got it, but they did. So yung law firm na Medialdea, Bella, Ata, they're the ones who represented the Marcos family, and he's the Solicitor General of Marcos. He was until recently.
Parang hindi rin uncommon yung defense on the part of the Marcoses na hindi nila natanggap. I believe yun din yung defense ni Amy Marcos doon sa Trajano, diba?
Exactly.